aren't like that funny. I don't know.
They don't have to be. I mean, mine aren't necessarily funny. I mean, a couple of them are kind of funny.
I just think about so many things during the day that's hard to implement to thought. You know?
I feel like they're the things I keep going back to for one reason or another. For different reasons, because I think one of it is like they're real prevalent in my brain, but then the other one is like there's the whole algorithm component of like, I have now gone down a little bit of a rabbit hole on some of these things. So like it's shown to.
Dude, could you imagine having schizophrenia though with that algorithm, and just having that thing in your brain that just tells you it's all true, and you know what I mean? Like people are going crazy, and that's why. At least you're a rational thinker and you can realize.
I'm not sure if that's entirely true. I'm very controlled. And mind control is very real. Like, it's weird. Like, I've tried to get better about that. I've even tried to, like, detox. I like, took, like, Facebook and Instagram off my phone for, like, 2 weeks and didn't go on at all. And it was kind of like, okay, how do I feel? Mm-hmm. Like, is there any positive or negative impact on my life? And I don't know if maybe it wasn't like a long enough time. The one thing where I was like, well, with the gym and stuff, I feel like not being on social media is probably not great.
Yeah.
So that was the one thing I think that, because I find myself like, I end up paying attention to it. I get, I stop at a red light and I like pick up my phone and you're like, I have like 2 minutes here. I can't sit in my own world, in my own head for 2 minutes without opening up Instagram. Like, gosh, this is effective.
That is brainwash, man. I mean, and it's everything, ads and freaking,
it works. I don't mind though. Like, I think it's funny. Like I've heard people talk about that, like the targeted ads and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't buy something if I don't really want it, but I don't hate like the stuff that I actually like being shown to me.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of convenient. Like, hey, maybe it's, not great that I say something and then my phone shows me a website where I can buy it, but it makes it easier, I guess.
Unless it's some gross meme and then you send to your buddy and then the next 20 posts are, targeted from that.
I definitely have some people where I'm like, you have done damage to my algorithm.
Yes.
I reset it.
Yeah.
Like, it was probably more than 6 months ago now, but you can go into like Instagram and you can like start over again.
That's a good idea.
Because I was like, I want to dictate. And I did it on purpose. Then I intentionally looked for certain things. So I was like, now I have more control over it. Mm-hmm. At least I think I do. So are we videoing now?
Let me see. Is that
red light on?
Yes, that one should be going. This is recording. Yeah, we are.
So we're good.
We're
going.
We're going?
Save Done, episode 6.
Yeah, can you believe it, man?
Yeah,
almost
look at that
milestone.
It'll be 1,000 before we know it.
I know. You had a really cool idea for today's episode.
Well, it's a cool idea. I was gonna say if it's a good idea and it works, we'll give you credit. If it's a crappy idea and it's dumb, then we'll just blame me. I'm totally fine with that. I'm used to it working that way.
No.
Yeah, I thought it'd be interesting to like switch it up. We had a little bit of a gap, scheduling conflicts and whatnot. We weren't recording anyways, and so it just kind of popped into my head. Mm-hmm. Kind of like we were talking about before we started. Like I'm a constant thinker, like good and bad. Mm-hmm. I literally put a headphone in every night to go to sleep and listen to a podcast to fall asleep. My wife hates it, but I literally cannot just like lay, even with like a ceiling fan or bathroom fan or white noise, like I cannot just lay down and go to sleep. Like it
you
doesn't
ever start
work.
Laughing out of nowhere and wake her up, or
no? Like no, I do sometimes. Though. I'll catch myself if something's funny. I start chuckling.
Yeah.
But like I can't shut it off. Like my brain just does not calm down. Mm-hmm. I actually wish that I had that thought or that thing when I was younger. I probably would have slept better, because I remember all like through high school, I was a horrible sleeper. Mm-hmm. Like I just could not fall asleep. I would fall asleep with TVs on. Like I didn't, whatever. It's like my brain didn't shut off. Anyway, so back to this. It was like the 5 things, the biggest 5 things Ben and Dave are thinking about. Like the most prevalent.
Oh my God.
Top things. And it doesn't have to be funny or clever. It could just be like, these are things on our mind. So I was like, hey, what do you think about this? And you're like, oh my gosh, we could be there. We could be there forever.
Yes, mainly for you, because mine are kind of boring, but it's also cool to see what's in your mind and what's on your mind when you're not coaching and being family man. And this is fun because we both had a really stressful month. A lot of things in life, work and everything. So it's cool to kind of let loose a little bit. And first, like I did want to thank you and thank everyone who bought T-shirts.
I know I don't have mine on. I feel bad. I thought about that.
No, and it's good, man. It's very humbling in the sense where there's so many things in my life that I don't save none on, Seriously, man. And it's a lot of pressure, and it's like, now I have to.
You're committed now.
Act out. Yeah, dude.
And it's shirts. People are buying them. They have expectations.
They believe in it. I know. And it's like, it's very humbling and scary, but I'm very thankful to you for selling so many shirts. And now I can buy groceries this month.
Oh, God.
I don't have to eat out of the garbage can.
No, it's cool. But like I said, like people are just like, hey, what? Like they were like, hey, what's that shirt? And then I'm like, oh, that's, it's Ben's design, and, looking at doing a clothing line, and it's the name of the podcast. And they're like, oh, cool, I want one of those.
I know, it's insane. Yeah, and like, Hannah, Missy, Erica, every morning, they're like, that's so cool, keep it up. And I'm like,
yeah,
a little scared.
It's no big deal. Just, trying to have fun with it.
Yeah,
we'll just keep going and keep doing some interesting podcasts. We've been pretty fortunate to have some interesting folks that we've met with so far. That was fun talking to Brett last week, and then talking to his wife after the fact, who thought it was hilarious. She was telling me about Brett-isms.
Oh, nice.
So, because I brought up the Regis Philbin thing.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, oh, yeah, we call him Brett-isms because he'll just use, like, the wrong words, like, when he's explaining something, I guess. I probably shouldn't. I won't even tell you the one that she told me that was the most funny because I don't want to embarrass him saying it on the podcast, but it was hilarious. But my middle daughter does the same thing, where she'll just like use words that she knows, but she doesn't use them correctly or in the right place, or she'll make up words at different times. Desmolished is a word that she's made up, which I think is actually kind of a cool word. Like Desmolished, like she was trying to say demolished. Voluptuous. She was trying to say voluptuous, and she threw that into a conversation. She one time was looking at I think it was the weather app or something about the world clock or something, and she was saying it was either the time or the temperature in belly jeans, which to the average person is known as Beijing.
Belly jeans.
She called it belly jeans. So it's just apparently Brett has cute. A very similar. Yeah. So I told my daughter that you have a bright future ahead of you as a professional baseball player.
Yes, exactly. Like that's Trailer Park Boys. I don't know if you've ever seen that show. It's one of my favorite. But Ricky-isms, it's the same thing. He just says all this dumb crap, and you're just like, dude.
Yeah, when I tell you the one that Heather told me. But no, it was cool getting to talk to Brett and then talking to Heather about it afterwards. So, top 5 things that Dave and Ben are thinking about. I didn't know if we should do like a time cap thing, like a debate. That was kind of joking what I said. We do like a 5-minute timer.
I like that.
Just so that way it keeps us on time. We don't have to, but I know obviously I can ramble on forever. And we kind of go back and forth. Like I'll do one, you do one. And just so we're not here for 3 hours. Because definitely some of these topics, I'm sure we could wander down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, and you have to coach in like what?
At 4. I got a couple hours.
Oh, okay. Oh, shit.
It's not till 4. No one will be here till like 15 minutes before.
We can do that if you want. However you want to do it.
All right.
Do it on my phone or?
Yeah, I can just do it on my phone. So I have, it's funny because they are the same 5 that when I first text you, I was like, hey, these are probably the 5 things. And so I just kept them because I'm like, well, they are the things I'm most normally thinking about. And that's what I was saying. I don't know if we got that recorded or not, but 1, it's because they're the most prevalent on my mind. But then also 2, because I've gone down potentially a bit of a rabbit hole on some of this stuff. So it's being sent my way. So it's like I open up my phone and I see like something about one of these things. So it's not even that I'm intentionally still thinking about it, I think. But it's being given to me as a topic. So
real fast though, have you ever had that mindset where you're thinking about something for 3 months and then you see where it's like, oh my God, I've been wrong this whole time, It's like really hard to admit to yourself.
I can't say no because nothing comes to mind. Maybe it will if I put more thought into it. I'm sure that's happened. Though I don't like to admit that I'm wrong. There are times where I am. I think we just make opinions based on the information you have at the time. So I'll form an opinion about something and then later on you're like, oh, nope, I was wrong. Especially with like the internet and social media and stuff, you have access to things so quickly, like almost in real time that like 10 minutes after something happens or whatever the case may be, you're given this information and you're like, well, that must be what happened.
Yeah.
And it's just because that's what someone put out there or said or saw in the moment. And then like a couple weeks later, you're like, well, no, this is actually what happened once people had more time to figure it out. I mean, I'm not completely opposed to changing my mind. I just try to avoid it if I can.
It's all the time in fitness too, though. Science, because science is just always changing.
Oh my gosh!
But that's a whole rabbit hole.
That's a whole other topic that'd be a whole other podcast about the phony, crappy health and fitness science.
Do Do you want to go first? I mean, this is your idea.
All right, so I'll go first. So again, same 5. This is definitely, they're not necessarily in a hierarchy of importance. This first one definitely is the most prevalent one. The other ones, could take them or leave them where they are on the list. But we're moving. My family and I, we are in the process of moving. We're selling our house. We close next Monday. We started moving this past weekend. We had been boxing stuff up for a while, and we went and brought some stuff to the new house. We're going to be doing the kind of brunt of the work this weekend. We're fortunate. We've got a bunch of folks here from the gym that offered to come help, and we're going to turn it into a CrossFit workout and see how fast we can get all the heavy stuff out of one house, driven over, and then into the other one.
That's some cult stuff right there.
What do you mean?
Like cult leaders, like, I need this done. I'm going to convince my
I just talked
followers.
about it. I just kind of like mentioned it or talked about, like, people are just joking, like, it's funny. Like, people... Yeah. I want to say that I wouldn't expect, but just like having conversations with people like, hey, how's it going with the house or whatever? Oh, I didn't start the timer. And I just bring it up. I'm like, well, hey, do you need help moving?
Yeah, no, I'm totally kidding. Yeah.
And like,
I even offer. Yeah,
it's funny because I'm like, I don't want to say yes. I don't want to say no to anybody because you can never, have too many hands. But then also at the same time, like, well, I'm not sure we need 20 people to help us move. But yeah, we've been, it's been really nice. A lot of people have like offered to help. We're pretty excited about it. Moving is a giant pain in the ass. I mean, we're a family of 5. We have 2 dogs. And so it's, packing up 5 people's worth of stuff and all kinds of things that we're like, do we keep this? Do we throw it away? People have all moved before. So it's just the chaos of...
Are there any... Well, I'm sure there's plenty, but is there anything you're really sad to leave behind and something you're really happy to leave behind?
We've made peace with like the fact that we're moving. Like, there's a lot of different reasons that we're doing it. Like, this idea came to mind a while back. So I actually got my real estate license last spring. It'd been something I've been thinking about off and on for years. I actually kind of started doing it a while ago, but never actually finished and took the state test. And I just decided like, hey, this is something I want to do. Like, obviously I love owning and operating the gym, coaching CrossFit, but it was something else that I've had an interest in. And so I thought could be beneficial, like, potentially own a space for the gym someday, or just have an understanding of how commercial real estate works. That was kind of like my first thought. But then also like, well, if I have a real estate license, I can then be our agent whenever we do anything. If we sell our house, if we buy houses in the future. And the first plan was to move closer to the gym because we live a good 20 plus minutes away, and with traffic, sometimes it's a lot more than that. So we were talking about that. That's how the whole thing started. And I had mentally committed to like, hey, we're leaving, we're going to move here. And then the conversation started with the rest of the family and their affinity, we'll call it, for their school, their friends, their swim team, all that kind of stuff was a lot stronger than I really understood. And we didn't want to uproot them and force them to move and leave their friends. We honestly didn't realize that they had that much of an emotional attachment.
You guys have friends?
Well, they just seem like kind of indifferent to certain things. 2 of the kids, my middle daughter and my son, were talking about being homeschooled for the last like however long. So we're like, all right, here's your chance. Like, you could be homeschooled if you wanted. And then we're like, hey, we're going to do this and you guys can be homeschooled. And they're like, oh no, we don't want to do that. Like, we had this plan based on information we had at the time. Yeah. And then we kind of get into it and nobody really wanted to do it. So we're like, okay, well, we're not going to move to Knoxville, but we had already decided, committed, like, hey, we're going to sell the house, different reasons, like financial reasons. It's beneficial. Like, when we bought the house, improvements that we made, like, we've accumulated a good amount of equity in it. And so from like that perspective, it's a good idea for us. And just also convenience of life. Like, we live really close to schools that my kids all went to at one point. 2 of them have already left. Like, we're getting in the car every day to go to school anyways. Like, just convenience of life. It's not as convenient to live where we do right now as it used to be. And then also just the potential for like a new opportunity. We're actually going to rent a house for a bit, and then we're going to see what we want to do from there. We're going to buy a house, build a house, maybe even possibly try to buy the house we're renting because we do really like it. I lost my train of thought where I was going with that. But, so it's bittersweet. Like, our house was perfect for what we needed at the time. We moved here in 2018. Then the chaos of the ensuing few years after that, it worked out really well for us. We lived in a very kid-friendly, bunch of kid neighborhood. We have a pool at that house. There was playgrounds up at the top of the hill because that's where the schools are. So, like, for that stretch of time where the world was chaos, we lived in this little bubble. And it worked out really great. So there's kind of like this, we're leaving that, which we were like a little sad about, but it doesn't fit in our lives the way it used to. So it's not that bad. Like, from 2018 to like pretty recently, that was the perfect house for our family to live in.
Yeah.
But now, like where we're going, that feels like it's better suited for us. Like it's just lower maintenance. It actually doesn't have a pool, but they don't really care that much. They're all swimmers and they swim all the time anyways. So
is it kind of like a pivot for you? I feel like you seem like someone who's been such a long-term thinker, or you and Carrie basically. And this is like, well, we don't know 5 years from now where we're going to be, you know?
It is. So it is a bit of a switch. Like I got really comfortable a little while back because we were like, okay, hey, we're going to sell this house. We don't really know where we're going. And that is not a space I'm usually comfortable living in.
For sure.
I am a control freak and want to know the plan. But I was just like, I kind of don't care. Like we're selling the house.
Where did that come from? With age? With knowing your family?
I have no idea. I honestly don't know why I chose like to be calm mentally about this. Like there was a stretch, like we had the house, it was only on the market for like a week and we got an offer and we're under contract and we didn't know where we were moving and we had a closing date. And it was like people we know that own rental properties, having conversations with them. We're like, are we going to live in an Airbnb for a month until we can figure this out? Because we're trying to find a house that the kids could stay in the same schools because it didn't make any sense. Like, okay, hey, we're going to sell the house. We're not going to move closer to the gym. And we're still going to have to force them to switch schools. Like that is a complete, it defeats the purpose. Yeah. I don't know. I just was like, well, there's nothing I can do about it. We'll just hope for the best. We'll figure it out. And thankfully it all worked out. Like I said, we love the house. It's a good neighborhood, lots of kids in it. It's, you know, it's
a big yard.
What's that?
Big yard?
Actually, no, which is what I want.
Yeah, because I know like mowing lawns and stuff, you know,
it just gets old.
It's so
like
old.
I'm not complaining because we don't really shovel snow here.
Yeah.
But like the 30 times a year you mow your lawn in Tennessee, and like when it's July and August, and like I coach usually 5 to 6 days a week at least, but over this past summer it felt like it was 6 or 7 days a week. I didn't do that on purpose. I hate that 6-7 thing. You know, I come here and coach, and then I got to go home and it's 95 degrees out, and I've got to spend the next 3 hours outside, like mowing the lawn of the yard that no one really plays in because it's 95 degrees out and gross. And then I got to deal with the pool that maybe they'll go in for a half an hour or something once in a while because my daughters swim almost every day. JJ was swimming every day during the summer. I mean, no one's gone in it in months. I mean, I know it's colder out now, but I mean, I probably counted 10 times. Because I knew we were going to be selling the house and moving. I didn't push, let's go outside to the pool. So I bet 10 times we went out to the pool as a family this summer. And I was like, we're good. We can move away from this thing.
I feel like I've been pushing a mower for 30 years. You know what I mean? And it's like, sometimes my yard looks like crap. And I'm like, dude, I'm so sick of doing it. But there's other days where I put my 40-pound vest on and run with my mower. And my neighbors are like, who the heck is this?
Absolutely. There's sometimes I'll embrace it and make the best of it. But sometimes I just dread it. I'm like, I don't want to be out here doing this. And we're so busy with other stuff. The kids' swim schedule. Now they have social lives. They have all this stuff. Yeah, we've already bought this.
Oh, that's cool.
Where I feel like I'm not one of those like take a lot of pride in my lawn people. I don't want it to look bad and be the eyesore. I have some neighbors that are crazy about how meticulous they are. That is not me. I'm like path of least resistance to not be embarrassing of like that guy in the neighborhood. And then we have other stuff to do. Like we've got to get the kids places. I've got work to do, or I just want to actually not be busy doing something. So no, the lawn is like, I'm half hour. I bet I'll be able to mow this thing. There's no pool, which is fine. It's a newer house. It's a little bit bigger than the one we're in.
Oh, wow.
Full circle. It's actually the first houses we looked at when we moved
down
here. We actually saw these. They weren't even built yet. This neighborhood wasn't even fully developed when we moved down here. We toured a couple of the like model homes in that neighborhood before we ended up buying the house that we did. I can't remember if we actually toured this particular house, but we definitely went in this floor plan. So we're super happy about it. Like the next 7 days is chaos because we're moving a little bit every day. We're doing the big move Saturday. We close on Monday. This time next week, though, I'm going to be like, we've moved. We're in the new house.
Fit aid for you. Fit aid for you.
Yeah, I'll be completely debt free on planet Earth.
We'll have to do a podcast in the new crib.
We'll have to come do it. We're getting a sauna. So we have this interesting. I don't know if you knew about that. Maybe you did.
A sauna?
Yeah. So one of the members here, she works for a company that sells saunas. and we just kind of work something out. She's looking to have it's an outdoor sauna, but she needs somewhere where one is set up that she can do content for like how-tos and repairs, also like social media content, like people using it and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
So though we won't have a pool, I've already talked to Clay, because I know he's big. We call it Tubby Time. I don't know if you know about this, over at Memento at Joe's place.
Yeah,
he goes over there. So we're going to have a sauna, and we're just going to get one of those metal barrels from over at Home Depot.
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's cold now.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we'll just that day
good.
fill it up with water, and we can do sauna and cold plunge right at my house, and we can do podcasts. But so yeah, we're going to be getting that set up once we're over
Joe
there.
better not find out you're stealing business from him, man.
Listen,
roll you up, man.
I don't use his stuff.
I'm joking.
I haven't been going to jiu-jitsu recently anyways.
Yeah.
I feel bad about. But
Well, dang.
so first thing I'm thinking about, selling my house, moving, real estate. So if you need to buy or sell a house, let me know. I have all of not completely one home sale under my belt.
If you want to save, call Dave.
There you go. That's a good. We could make business cards with that. So I do work with a brokerage though that has a ton of commercial and
for sure.
residential experience. I'm not just like you legally can't do it, but it's like completely unwatched. So though I don't have much experience, I work with people that do. So
Cool.
So that was 10 minutes. So I already
that's all
this
good.
right out of the gate. So I'll have to shorten up one of the other ones. So
It
that was
isn't
my
too
first one.
I don't know if mine will even be 5 minutes, to be honest with you.
Well, take your time.
We'll
got
see.
all day.
I'm not a very lengthy talker, but I would say the one thing I think a lot of people don't know about me, and I think about all the time, is like paranormal investigations. Like, I am a freak.
Okay.
I love freaking Ghost Adventures and like just stuff like that. I watch it all the freaking time. Like and this kind of goes along with moving. I mean, my family moved around a lot when I was a kid, and we lived in some like real haunted, dark places where I was freaking terrified. You know, I've seen spoons move across the table, and just the feelings you get, you know, when you're in like a little haunted area is just, it's so scary. But like, I love it. I love watching it. I don't know if you've ever seen one or you believe in that stuff. Or.
So that's funny. So obviously that's something that you have a belief in like what paranormal spirits.
Yeah,
like ghosts. I feel like that kind of like.
I don't believe in all of it. Like, I'm definitely skeptic, but I think I know I believe in good and evil, and I know I've felt good and evil.
Yeah.
And so I don't know where to take that, but that's kind of why I like exploring these shows. And I've been on like maybe 2 ghost hunts, and like it's just so cool. It's so much fun.
That is so funny. That's definitely something I did not know about you.
Yeah, I'm a nerd.
Well, I don't know if that makes you a nerd. Yeah, I'm torn. That's one I'm not so sure.
You've never really had interest?
I haven't. If you said like you have to give me a yes or no answer, do you believe in ghosts? I'd probably say no. Doesn't mean that I'm right.
What about like spiritual warfare, something like that? I mean, do you know
warfare?
Do you know anything about that? Like,
no.
It's like it's big in like Catholicism and stuff, but it's like I don't know what goes on in the other realm. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. So I will say it's something I haven't put a ton of thought into, and it's not something.
So you've never stayed in a haunted house or been at a friend's house where you heard noises or?
No, I would say my only exposure is like you do the Ouija board with your friend, and you know that they're full of crap and they're moving that little thing. That would probably be about the extent.
So you've done that before? Was it Craig or?
No. It was I can't. It was different friends. I mean, we're talking like 30 plus years ago.
Yeah.
Like.
I played. Yeah, I played with them when I was 12 and.
Yeah, it's not something I've ever. So it's funny because I have had very strong opinions about certain things, and some things I still do, but some of the other stuff I've just, it's funny because I've adopted that with like fitness, nutrition, a lot of stuff like that, but this kind of like it depends or I don't know kind of attitude with a lot of things, and that's definitely something that falls in that category. Like I don't really know. I don't know what happens when we die. We'll apparently all find out someday. I don't know that how I believe is right necessarily, and that doesn't mean how someone else believes is wrong.
Yeah.
But definitely, paranormal is not a rabbit hole I've ever gone down very far.
Well, there's this, it's called the Haunted Museum. It's out in Vegas.
Okay.
And I actually went on opening weekend. And it was like right after all that. It was the weekend after that big shooting out in Vegas, you know. Okay. So it was just like a real dark time in Vegas. I mean, there was not a lot going on. Anyways, I go and there's like this Dybbuk box thing display, and you have to do this little ritual sort of thing. You know, it's not like, you know, you're not burning your nose hair or anything, but it's just like
you were going to say hair and then realize I don't have it. I literally just saw what went through your mind right there.
Yeah, but anyways, so after that, like all this weird crap started happening to me. And I mean, I dropped this 10-pound boiling wax on my foot. Somebody stole all this money from like 2 different cards that had 2 different billing accounts. It was 2 different people at the same, like all this weird stuff. And it was actually like the same thing happened to Post Malone. Like he went to that, visited it before it opened, and then he almost died in a car or a plane crash. Like 3 or 4 things happened to him. Really? And he was like, yeah, it's because of that box, you know. It's pretty wild, but I've been there.
There's good company, you and Post Malone.
Yeah, I know, right?
Maybe tag him in this. Maybe he'll watch it.
Yeah. And go get tattooed together or something.
There you go. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, anyways, yeah, so I guess that's my 5 minutes.
That's pretty, yeah, you can take more time. I find that really interesting. Definitely not something I would have expected, that like this is something that's prevalent in Ben's head when I'm like coaching a class and I see you kind of looking off out in the distance. You're like,
dude, I see the banner start moving. Yeah. No, like I really want to go on like go video, like an investigation.
No kidding.
So bad. So if any of you are interested, many listeners,
yeah, if you're interested in paranormal activity, let Ben is your guy.
I will get rid of your ghost.
So now you're a Ghostbuster.
I would love to be.
Okay,
I would love to be.
Is there like a course for that? Do you have to get a certificate?
You need like some cheesy name. You got to wear all black. You have to have like a cool cross necklace. And then, yeah, you're good.
And then you're officially a Ghostbuster.
Yeah, I actually have ghost hunting equipment. So, you know, that's all I'm going to say. I'm leaving it at that. Okay, go.
This is the best. I love this. So mine, this is like going to be way less interesting and entertaining than that. I think a lot or very often about the sale of CrossFit.
Oh, as a whole.
Yeah, like the company, CrossFit HQ, the business of CrossFit.
Can I ask real fast? Do you know how much Greg Glassman sold that for?
$200 million.
Oh, my God.
Wow. So this is one of those things that's definitely prevalent because, one, I think about it being a CrossFit affiliate owner, but 2, because of the things that I pay attention to in the social media space, like it's talked about pretty regularly. Not, too many weeks will go by that it's not brought up because it's been kind of kicked around and talked about for a few months now, maybe even into the end of last year. If I can't remember exactly when I first started hearing about it. But there's just been some different like rumors like this is going to happen or that's going to happen or this person's involved or these people are involved, and it just hasn't happened. So to your point, like I've been around this for a long, or your question, I guess. I've been around this for a long time. I think it was like 2011 when I first started doing CrossFit, and it had already been around for over a decade. But I was a very big like Greg Glassman fan. Like he's a very intelligent guy. Obviously, CrossFit's changed my life like a ton. Like the methodology from a physical and like fitness perspective, but also like just my whole life. I mean, that's what I do for a living now. Yeah. So I was always kind of a fan of his and watched all of his YouTube videos and lectures and all that stuff. He's also a very polarizing guy. I think a lot of times people in positions of power or people that are considered brilliant, they're controversial. Like they're extreme people. So there's people that love them. There's people that hate them. Yeah. You know, others fall kind of more in the middle. So
you have to have that. I don't know. You have to be able to piss some people off, crack some eggs to get to the top, man. You know?
No, I 100% agree. Like there has to be this just undying like belief in the thing. CrossFit itself actually talks about that. They call it the salt shaker analogy, that like CrossFit, the methodology, the ethos, like that's the salt shaker and it's on the middle of the table, and like all these other things come around and they're a part of CrossFit or there's something in CrossFit and they like move the salt shaker to the side, whether it's a programming thing or how to run your affiliate thing or whatever it may be. There always needs to be someone to put the salt shaker back in the middle of the table. Like there has to be this grounded, rooted belief in whatever you're doing, because eventually you move the salt shaker around so many times that no one remembers like how you got there, or like someone just has to be that almost crazy person. Yeah. And he was definitely that for CrossFit. He sold the company back in 2020. He made some probably untimely social media posts, which we don't necessarily need to get too much into that. We talked about that kind of thing like with Brett though, when we were asking him about the like being a man of faith and stuff. Like that's something to try to balance. Like I think about that a lot. You're running a business, you want to appeal to anyone and everyone because we're welcoming to everyone, but you also have your own personal beliefs and values and views and things like that. And it's like, where's the line between what you promote, what you don't, what you talk about, what you don't? and you don't want to like be a sellout, for lack of a better, like I wouldn't want to conform my values and morals just for business or for money. But at the same time, like, it doesn't always need to be that deep, and like just keep some of your own crap to yourself and you'll probably be better off.
I think it's also kind of like, don't speak unless spoken to. Like what he did, it was kind of like no one asked him, man. And not to say I disagree with the context of all of it, but it's like,
it was probably not necessary.
Yes.
And being the person that you are in the position you're in the time that it took place, like,
you knew you were going to make some people mad.
Right. And that's what made him great, but that's also what put him into a position where he was basically like hostily overthrown and kicked out of CrossFit, because everybody, lots of people were de-affiliating more, were threatening to do it. And it was like, well, you're either going to sell the company or we're all going to leave and we're going to crumble this thing. And it was a crappy situation. At the time, I didn't own an affiliate, but I was still like, oh man, like I wonder what's going to happen. It got bought by a private equity company, Berkshire Hathaway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's who's owned it. So there was a gentleman that was kind of like looked at as the owner when it first kind of took place, but
Don,
he was, what's that?
Don or something?
No, so it was a guy named Eric Rosa.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He was kind of like the first, like viewed as like the owner or the head of it, but I think, and I don't understand all the details, I think he was part of the group, and I think he kind of needed their backing to do it, so he might have been the head guy, but he didn't really like own it outright all on his own. And in pretty short order, it was kind of shown that he probably wasn't in the best position to lead the company, and he was replaced by Don Fall. So he's now the CEO. So Berkshire Hathaway owns it. Don Fall's the CEO. And from everything I understand, he seems like a very good guy. He's former military. If I remember correctly, I watched on a podcast, he was one of the first Marines in Iraq after 9/11. Oh, wow. They were offshore when that all took place, and like first landfall was like his group. Like, if I might be misquoting that, but he was very early on post 9/11 in the war on terror. Like, he was a Marine.
Wow.
But former military, like decorated career, had a lot of success in the tech world. Like, he's worked for a lot of big companies. Like, he seems very bright and very a good guy, but it's a very big switch from Greg. Like, Greg was like this passionate, crazy person, I'll die for this cause kind of thing, which has its pluses and minuses of where like the core of what it is going to stay intact, but is that sometimes limiting because you're so stuck on what you want because it's such an extension of you. Like, I think about that here, right? Like, there are things that I want this gym to be, but I can't always have it just be that, because that's going to limit things. And I think that could happen with CrossFit's sake. So then you go the other end of the spectrum. So now you have this very business-minded guy that might potentially be better from a business perspective or in certain areas, but you don't have that like unwavering passion kind of thing. And so it's a weird scenario, because I don't know how to read it all. Of like, I think day to day for us here, not much has changed.
Yeah.
But I also didn't own an affiliate in 2017, 18, 19, but it's also evolved and time has just gone by. Like, a lot more people know who it is, what CrossFit is now. They've tried it. They've moved on from it if possible. Like, there's been more affiliate. Like, it's just something I think about a lot, because I'm like, okay, who's going to buy it? And then how does that impact me? It's me overthinking, because potentially it means nothing. It's just someone else owns it. Because the good and bad about CrossFit is they've always given you the autonomy to do whatever you want. You get to use the name. That's basically what you're paying money for. Yeah. And they brought visibility to what it was. And other than that, like, you do whatever you want. Like, you're not getting much, but they're also not getting in the way much.
How could they change it for the worst?
Part of my fear is just who buys it. Like, one, who buys it, and like, who are they as people and what they believe? Because that was actually a thing that came up, is there was this potential buyer group, and one of the guys that was going to be one of the main figures in it just had this like fundamental, like, he thought differently. Like, CrossFit is just what CrossFit's been. It's been these, short, high intensity workout, like just what it's always been. But he was kind of like, from what I understand, had a slightly different view, and it was going to change it potentially. More of like that High Rocks boot campy, like that was his vision from what I understand. And this is just hearing it like through the internet. So to be fair, but so I just wonder, like, how much does it fundamentally change if someone comes in and they just don't believe in it the way that it's been? But then at the same time, that doesn't mean I have to go along with it. I can still just do whatever I want here. And it's just the fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess my biggest fear is that the name didn't exist. That would be, I think, worst case scenario. Like, there's a lot of benefit, in my opinion. I value the name. I value the brand, the methodology, everything to do with it, not just from a business or financial perspective, but just that name itself means a lot. So the worst is that, like, it goes bankrupt and Berkshire just writes it off as a loss kind of deal. Like, not that I think that would ever happen, but
yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
No, it's just what happens, you know?
Yeah.
What does it potentially become if they were to sell to just someone that doesn't believe? Like, it's already shifted from what, you know, Greg had. How much further does it go? Or do they start stepping on your toes and it's like, hey, these are the colors of the walls. This is the type of equipment you need.
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone has to do the same program. Like, you become Orange Theory.
Yeah, exactly.
And
yeah, how aggressive do you think they are of selling, like, of wanting to sell it? You know,
I don't know. I think they want to,
but
considering it's been out for so long, like the out in terms of like that they wanted to sell. It's been known for months now. I think they potentially are they having a hard time getting what they want for it. You know, things have changed. Like, the number of affiliates decreased. They increased our affiliation fee. It used to just be a level 1 and you could be an owner. Then they made it a CrossFit level 2. Good and bad for all of this stuff. I'm a little indifferent, I guess. I mean, they're charging us more money for things, but like, whatever, it's still worth it to me.
Do you see that more money put into more advertising for CrossFit.com and more, you know, getting people more involved? Or
that's really hard because I'm so invested in the space anyways. Like, my phone is going to spit. I'd have to take the phone of someone that almost has no idea what CrossFit is.
I saw a CrossFit.com commercial the other day on something. I forget what it was.
Yeah.
I was like, what? You know, and I thought that was kind of cool.
Right. I'm not sure because I'm going to see that. I feel like I would see that stuff no matter what.
Yeah, true.
Because I follow so many CrossFitters. I follow CrossFit HQ. Like, I follow all of the CrossFit stuff already, so I'm getting fed that stuff. So, like, I am the targeted ad kind of person anyway, so it would be more like, what are people seeing that aren't a part of this? So that's how I'd have to ask them, I guess.
What is weird to me is kind of the sponsorships, how they've kind of declined a little bit. You know what I mean?
It's gone all over the place.
Like,
yeah, well, I think with the whole Greg thing, there were some companies that were kind of like, we're not on board for dealing with this. Again, whether they agreed or disagreed, or it's just, you know, when you're Reebok and you're running this big multi-billion-dollar business and there's a thing that you have your name attached to and now it's very controversial and making waves, you're like, I'm not sure if this is worth it to me anymore. And again, I don't know all the backside of that stuff and how long deals and contracts and stuff were anyways. They kind of got away from some of those big ones, and then all of a sudden there was like some weird, this brief like deal with Monster, and like that's where like a lot of the hardcore, they were like, wait a minute,
what?
I thought we were like the cure for the world's most vexing problem, and like we're the anti-sugar people, and now you're partnering with this group, and so but again, CrossFit's been around for 25 years now, and it's just like there's a life, the hockey stick of growth not only leveled off, but started to come back down. So like, how valuable is it? Again, like to the algorithm thing, like CrossFit is everywhere and very prevalent to someone like myself and yourself. But if I just walked out into the parking lot right now and grab someone and like start talking to, they might know that it exists, but they might know very, very little about it. So like, it's a big, big thing to some, but it's almost nothing to so many people too. So
I just saw that freaking Adidas has their own little High Rocks now. It's called AthX or something. ATHX.
Athlete X, is that what it? That's funny. I saw that name the other day on a post. People were talking about like hybrid athletes and
2.5 hour endurance, sort of like you got to do power cleans and then you go run and row, and then it's like a 2.5 hour thing. And it's like, God, the logistics of that seem insane, but it's like everyone's trying to get into this space and it's kind of crowding it, you know?
Well, I mean, to be fair, CrossFit didn't invent a whole lot.
Yeah.
In terms of like all these things existed previously, they just packaged them all together in a more like public facing way. Like there are probably athletes that were doing a lot of this stuff, and some of the hardcore like opponents to CrossFit will talk about like, well, the Russians have been doing this stuff since the 60s. And you're like, okay, well, they didn't name the workouts and do it. Like there's differences.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the other thing. Like we've seen all the growth of the things like Orange Theory, F45, like CrossFit Light, I'll almost call it. And to a degree, like High Rocks is crazy hard, but it's not super complicated. Like there's no high skill gymnastics or necessarily other than that sled.
It's
like
for
there's not
runners,
like heavy barbells and stuff.
Yeah, it's for runners.
But it's very user friendly to the person that doesn't want to take the time to learn how to do some of the more complex stuff. Like I'm not a hater of high rocks at all. Like it's fitness, it's active. Like what's the best way to get ready for high rocks? Go do CrossFit and then do some running. Like
Exactly.
do CrossFit for 6 months and run a couple times a week, and you're probably going to do pretty well.
Pretty decent.
You're not going to win the world championship, although you might, because Tia basically did.
Yeah.
Being a CrossFitter.
Insane.
But yeah, it's just like, the opportunities for these other things to branch off and market their own thing and whatever. And I don't know, I'm all for it. Like I'm indifferent to that stuff,
Yeah. Yeah. You're going to have a gym either way.
Yeah, I'm going to have a gym and I'm going to do CrossFit. Like I like CrossFit. I like what it is and what it stands for and what it's always been for me, and that's what we're going to try to do here. So I know we're way over, and now we'll get to your Ben's number 2.
This is a quick one.
Big thought.
All right. This probably consumes 100% of my thoughts is what's for dinner. So, yeah, what's your favorite food? I don't know this about you, Dave.
My favorite food.
And like, what will you not eat?
Gosh, I don't know if I have a favorite food. I don't know if that's like a weird thing. I don't have.
You have a favorite like style or like Mexican? I can't even say.
I do really like Mexican food.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm like weird about food. There's almost nothing I won't eat, but I've never eaten things that are like the average person would think are like weird or gross. Like maybe some people, like green olives, right? Like there are probably a lot of people that like don't like green olives because they have a fairly strong taste, but that's not like a dead bat or some weird food that like, like something that's like not a normal thing for the average American to eat or whatever, however you want to think. Like I don't, like there's not much that I won't eat. Like I like sushi, I like Mexican food, I like pizza, I like Italian food. I don't eat a ton of Italian food or a ton of pasta, but I eat a lot of very similar foods.
Yeah. Do you have a place here that you love, and is there a place back in Massachusetts that you?
Here I don't know if we do or not.
Really?
We don't go out to eat a ton. My kids go to Chick-fil-A like once a week. It feels like. There's a couple places that we like going. There's one place that we like. They have a good burger. Like I like a bacon cheeseburger and fries. But I mean that's once every couple months that I'll eat that.
Is there a meal you guys eat the most at home? Like I know when my kid was young, it's like spaghetti was the thing. It was at least once a week we're eating spaghetti.
So we're easy. Like, I don't want to say we're bad parents about food, but I don't know that I would. And that sounds really bad when I say it like that. We do almost more like this like buffet style dinner almost every night.
Oh yeah.
Like we're in and out of the house a lot. The kids have practice. Carrie and I are in and out of the house because of the gym and whatnot. So like dinner kind of starts the same way. Like JJ does the same things almost every night. Like he starts with like microwave popcorn and then fruit while the rest of dinner is being prepared. And then like for a perfect example, today when I was home, I made ground beef with taco seasoning. I made a pork loin that has like the sesame ginger like sauce on it. Like it was a already kind of seasoned one. I made sweet potatoes, brown rice. There's pasta in the fridge. Like we basically give our children like, here are the things that we have available for you to have for dinner. What do you want?
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
JJ eats a lot of like Purdue breaded chicken. That might be his favorite food.
Yeah.
Probably one of the lesser bad, like
Air
in
frying.
terms of, we just put it in the oven. Like, it's, we make pizzas at home fairly regularly. We get like little pizza dough things and just throw whatever on it.
Yeah.
I eat a lot of the same stuff, but that was like, I take rice and I put other random things on top of it. And then I put cheese and ketchup on it. It might be chicken. It might be beef. It might be pork, eggs, but I don't.
Have you ever made it's half Greek yogurt, half all purpose flour. It's like a crust.
I have not.
It's like super protein and it's real soft. Oh man, it's so good.
No.
I'll have to send you a recipe.
So I am on this kick right now of Quaker has this like protein oatmeal. It has like whey protein in it, and like one packet of oatmeal has like 12 grams of protein in it.
Ooh,
and I get the Oikos. It's like the protein. There's one that has like 20 grams of protein in it. And so I make the oatmeal and then I let it sit and cool off, and then I cover it with a vanilla yogurt. And it's basically like dessert.
Yeah,
like
it's like
an apple cinnamon oatmeal with like vanilla yogurt on top.
That's a good
It
idea.
is like apple crisp or apple.
You got to put these on the email blast, the CrossFit email, some protein desserts.
I mean, it's like 30 to 35. Maybe I'll throw a little peanut butter in there or something.
Is there anything that you know that is terrible for you, but you have convinced yourself that there's so much protein that you're like, I'll just eat this?
I will go through a phase of eating those protein cookies.
Oh, like the Lenny Larry one?
Lenny and Larry protein cookies. They're not a ton. They're like 15, 16 grams of protein. But I have convinced myself that is like, I don't know if I call it my guilty pleasure. Yeah. Because toast with peanut butter is probably my guilty pleasure.
Oh, man. That's great for you. What do you mean?
I know. Well, I don't eat bad. Like, I don't know. Like those cookies, like I know they're just nonsense. But I'm like, it's really not that bad. I work out, like that's my like treat. There's 15 grams of protein in it. I'll have a yogurt or something with it. I got 30 grams of protein, but I know it is just like this nonsense of a thing. And like the protein is like the least, like it's in there, but like it probably shouldn't count.
Yeah.
So
you ever eaten a bug?
A bug?
Yeah.
Not on purpose. I know I've eaten bugs, but I haven't like eaten like a deep fried cricket or something.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I've never done that. Have you?
When I was in my 20s, I thought it was hilarious. I was just drunk all the time, and I had this party trick where I would just like eat bugs and just stupid. I was thinking about that the other day. Like, man, I wish I could just smack myself. Go back in time. But yeah, that's.
Well, what about you? What in terms of is there what do you have certain things you eat like all the time or something that's your favorite?
I'm not picky at all. Like I will eat anything. I don't really like fried okra.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like
interesting.
Very boogery to me.
Okay. Eating boogers again.
Eating boogers. Yeah, every podcast. But yeah, I love everything, man. I don't know. My thing right now is Costco pot stickers. Have you ever had those?
Okay. No.
It's like real low calories.
Yeah.
But they're so good, man. You can eat like 15 of them, and it's like 400 calories.
Yeah.
Like, I like sitting there and just watching a movie and just eating.
It's like volume. I can eat a lot of these. It's like popcorn. Yes. Like I can eat a whole thing of popcorn, and it's like only so many calories.
Dude, Cheeto popcorn. Oh my god.
I'm trying to think now. I mean, I like a good steak. I like seafood. Like I don't know if I have like a favorite. Like if you were like, you can have one meal for the rest of your life. Because honestly, I think if it was, it'd be super boring, and it would be like kind of the crap I already eat. But I hate to like your last meal on Earth. What would it be like?
Oh man, yeah. I do have a pre-wedding meal. I always go to the gas station and get milk, and then one of those Met RX super cookie bars. Dude, those are so good. Okay. Yeah, but it's like I'm about to be on my feet running around for 8 hours. So I'm like, yeah. I will shameless plug for Bocados. It's Jorge's new place.
Okay.
Man, their food is so good.
Really good.
If you said steak, and I was like, yeah, best steak I've had, man. It's really good.
Really.
Anyways, yeah.
I'll have to check. I haven't gone.
That's good. Yeah.
That's awesome for Jorge to do that. Follow his dream. Maybe we'll have to get him on the podcast. He can talk about his restaurant.
No, it'd be great.
Obviously,
he's got a cool story.
Opening your own place. There's a lot to that. Mm-hmm. So what's for dinner? So Ben's thinking about ghosts.
Yes.
And dinner. Very cool.
Yep. All right, Dave. Number 3.
So this is one, it's just all of a sudden been these last few weeks. And it was like a burst of this. It's kind of died down a little bit, but I've been thinking about it because I knew we were doing this. The enhanced games.
Okay. Ooh, yeah.
So you're familiar with that, right? Like I remember hearing about this. I feel like for a long time that this was like, this idea was kicked around. There was some people on Rogan a while back. But basically the premise is like, okay, we're going to hold the equivalent of the Olympics, but we're not going to drug test. I don't even know all the events. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but it's basically like we're just going to...
Wild West.
Yeah, their whole thing is like we're going to test the real limits of human potential. And we're just going to do whatever you want, and we'll see the results. And so I've just been thinking about it because it's been coming up. Because I'm not sure when it's starting, but like people in different fitness realms and sports have been talking about it because they've announced some of the athletes that are participating. Actually know someone that's going to be participating. And I have kind of mixed emotions about this whole enhanced games thing. And it's just, again, been popping up. So I've been thinking about it. Like, so I followed bodybuilding for a really long time. Like that's probably what got me into like, first it was like 80s action movies and those dudes, but then it was like bodybuilding. That was my first foray into fitness, was like reading bodybuilding magazines. And that was kind of how I worked out for a long time. And obviously I didn't know what I didn't know when I was like 10 years old, but then obviously you just get older and you understand, and you're like, well, these guys just all take steroids. Like, that's part of like what this is. And like, you're just okay with it because you're like, well, whatever, like that's what this is. Like, that's why they're so big and jacked and so freaky, is like they take steroids. And so you're like okay with it. But then like I got older and you start following other sports and you hear about people like cheating, because a lot of sports it's not allowed. So I don't agree with that, right? If it's a drug tested sport and you're not supposed to do them, like, then you shouldn't be doing them. But then you just realize like lots of people are doing them and a lot of people aren't getting caught. And then it's this weird space where you're like, well, fundamentally I'm not against them, because I'm totally cool with the bodybuilders and the world's strongest man guys being juiced out of their minds, because that makes it more interesting. But then you're like, but the CrossFit Games athletes, they should not be doing this because it's not allowed. Which, again, if it's against the rules, it's against the rules. But I just find it's just this interesting,
it is very interesting
space now, because a few things that come into my head regarding this are, one, you're seeing a lot of athletes that competed in drug-tested sports, some of which may have been controversial or questionable, are now announcing they're in the enhanced games, and you're like, you were on a team that this was drug tested 6 months ago, and now you're here. Like, all of a sudden you just started juicing.
Yeah.
And then also, what happens when they don't get any better?
Yeah.
When the weightlifter lifts the same weight at a non-drug tested competition, you're like,
you're doing it the whole time.
Wait a minute. And so it's just an interesting, it's been real prevalent in CrossFit. Like, I don't know how long it's been prevalent, if people were doing it for a long time. I mean, anytime you're putting titles and money on the line, people are going to try to get any advantage they can. But it's just been more visible recently because, again, social media, people are talking about it. People put out videos about athletes that they think that are on and aren't, and all this stuff. And so, what
is something that you could, I mean, you've followed bodybuilding for so long, like if you walked into a gym, you're like, yep, that guy's on steroids,
So I think I do have a pretty good eye for it, but obviously I'm just assuming.
Yeah.
I mean,
but when you know.
There's a certain look. I mean, look, there's pretty high ceiling for human potential.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard stories about Ronnie Coleman competed natural for like X amount of years in his career. And if you saw that guy walking around, probably most people would be like, oh yeah, he's on steroids.
Yeah.
I think there's probably, those people are few and far between. That doesn't mean they don't exist. Some people are just outliers. They're just genetic freaks, like whether it's they're fast or they're strong or their ability to build muscle, or what did they do for 20 years and then they started to try to build muscle, and so they just like blew up like a balloon, and maybe they are natural. But there's just a certain look, and I don't know if I can put words to it, but you're just like, there's just like a thickness to someone's body, the amount of muscle that they have. Things that stick out in my mind, it's a funny thing, is like body acne, and I know it's not always and some people just struggle with that, but like if somebody's super jacked and they got a bunch of pimples on their upper back and shoulders, that's one of the androgenic side effects of steroids. Like, there's a pretty good chance, like, you're way stronger than everybody I know and you get pimples all over your back. I wonder if you're on something.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if I can pinpoint it exact. It's one of those, what's that thing from the Larry Flynn? They couldn't describe pornography. I don't know how to describe it, but I know it when I see it. I feel like that was from that whole, like, that was like in his movie or something. But I feel like it's the same thing. Somebody could walk in and you just kind of like, I feel like we went to the Legends Masters when Kerry competed on that team, and that's not drug tested.
Oh,
and it's
really?
all like 35 and older athletes. So every guy in there was on TRT, I'm assuming, and some dude just walked by and you're like, holy crap.
Just giant.
They just stuck out. And I'm like, you might be a stud athlete. You might be genetically more gifted than a lot of the rest of us. But I also think there's a good chance you're slightly enhanced, sir.
How dangerous is it?
I don't know. That's one of I don't know. I think because it's going to be very individually dependent. That's something I've learned through following bodybuilding. Like, there's a lot of really top level bodybuilders that potentially don't take as much as some guys in the average gym, down the street, because they were genetically gifted to begin with. They might be hyper responders. Like, there's a lot of science to it that I don't fully understand. There's a guy, Derek, More Plates, More Dates.
Yeah.
He's a social media guy. Like, he's way smarter. He knows a lot more about this stuff, and there's a lot of other like bodybuilders, and there are people that know this stuff, but
it's almost like microdosing it or something.
No, it's just they might not have to use as much. Like think of like, you know, I noticed it with like youth sports. Like my kids swim, so I see kids all the time. They're walking around in their bathing suits. There's some little 7-year-old boys that you just look at and you're like, dude, you're like ripped. Like you have abs, you have definition to like your shoulders, and like you're someone that you're like, if you trained to build muscle, you're clearly going to do it better than the kid you're standing next to that's the same age and is 6 inches taller and a beanpole. Like that taller kid is going to have a harder time looking muscular. Like some people, they are just genetically different. So people are going to process all that stuff differently. So it might be really detrimental to some people, or maybe it's not quite so bad to others. What are they taking? What are the doses? What's the purity of it? Because, I mean, there's no, here's this bottle with words in a foreign language. It's Russian or it's Chinese or whatever's written on it. And like,
who knows? It could be made in a basement somewhere.
So, I mean, I'm of the mind that there's nothing comes without a cost in some manner, right? Like no matter what you do, good or bad, like, right? You can drink too much water. So I don't know. Obviously there's going to be levels to it, medical supervision, low dose, health related or tied to, probably not going to be as bad as some 300-pound, 5'6" bodybuilder that's like turning purple when they get out of their car. Like there's going to be, there's just, kidney issues, liver issues, heart issues, like, and how there are some bodybuilders that are like, in their 50s and 60s and they seem like they're in really good health and they seem like they're fine. And then there's a lot of guys that don't make it to that age. But then also what else was going on in their lives? Like how were they, I had this explained to me by a person a long time, a good friend of mine. Because again, I came up in like bodybuilding and that was a gym that I was a part of. And like, I was around it a lot. And I had a good friend and he's like, he was super chill. Like he was a power lifter. He was a bodybuilder. And he's like, that's just my nature though. Like if you're really laid back and you start taking steroids, like it's not going to just turn you into a psychopath. But if you're already a psychopath and then you take steroids, it's probably not going to calm you down. And so everybody's different.
True.
But I don't think it's I can do this and there's no long-term or there's no free lunch. So
that's like, what's that? Is his name Royce Dunn or that CrossFit athlete or Noah Olson or these just super ripped out dudes that are just
well, those are the ones that make you wonder and you're like, are you on something because you look like you could be? And like I want to be of the mind that I don't want to just think the worst.
Exactly. Because they work their butts off.
Right. I know how hard it is. I've been around all kinds of different athletes. And again, I just know some people are different. You spent 15 or 20 years being a gymnast or a swimmer or whatever you might have done. Like you have all of this background, like that could very well be like man-made and natural. And so I don't want to just assume everyone that's better than me or looks better or is stronger is cheating. But it is very prevalent. So it just makes you second guess. You're like, okay, all these dudes look super fit. And then you look freakishly super fit.
Which
are you on something?
I doubt they are. I don't know. But it's like for me to look like that, I would have to. That goes back to what you're saying. It's like everyone's different, man,
Right. So the enhanced games, something that's popping up.
Is it kind of, last thing I'll ask about it is it kind of like a joke? I mean,
I think it's serious. I think there's a lot of money involved in this. It's this whole world, like the biohacking and longevity and science-based, like it's good and bad. Like it's good to have science and education and knowledge and things, but then also I think potentially it can be taken too far. The people that came before us and didn't have the science that achieved all the, Ronnie Coleman didn't use science. He used food and big weights and some drugs. And then all these other guys come out and like, well, this is science-based training and this is how you should do everything. And you're like, you're 160 pounds, dude. Like, there's something to what these guys did too. But so I feel like it's overtaking a lot of stuff. It's with professional sports and all the analytics, right? Like, well, we're just going to do this now because the potential outcome is 16% higher of this thing. And you're like, okay, well, there's also something to be said for like sport and feel of the game and whatever. But
it's also, what does this open the door to? I mean, are people going to start taking meth before a 5K?
Oh my gosh, I'm sure they probably already have. I mean, and that's the thing, it's been around. I mean, I remember reading like old baseball players, and like they used to have like drugs in the locker room that have amphetamines and stuff before they would go play. Like this stuff, it's always, whenever it's a competition, someone is going to look for any advantage they can get. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I hope nobody gets hurt. Overdoes it.
Definitely.
But who knows?
Definitely.
So what you got for number 3? What's
number
the third?
3? I was talking about this with a friend the other day, but I think about it often. It's like, how did we survive? Like throughout the hundreds of thousands of years that we've kind of been human, sort of. Not human. I don't know the word. Neanderthal. I think. What is that? A couple 100,000 years, right? It's not millions.
I'm not gonna pretend to know the full timeline of
I looked it up
evolution.
the other day. Yeah, but like, how do we survive? You know what I mean? And also, I guess the second to that is like the whole stoned ape theory. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
I don't know. Enlighten me. I may have heard it, but I don't know the name.
Terrence McKenna or something. He was like a philosopher or something, and he came up with this idea that some apes just got into a patch of mushrooms and started having just these crazy thoughts, and it just kind of evolved into what we are today,
Right. I read a book about, and now I'll complete butcher, but again, Rogan, because I listen to all his podcasts, it was like the author was on there, and it was about like how far back hallucinogenic stuff goes, and that it's not like this thing that just popped up in like the 60s and 70s. It's been around for like thousands and thousands of years, and I think he was like, oh gosh, I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. I want to say it was like stuff from like the Bible.
Oh yeah, no, I think I've heard that.
I think I read that book. I can't remember the name of it right now.
Yeah, it's a good one. How the yeast that they were drinking in the alcohol or something.
Yeah, I'm like now in my head I'm trying to go through the Rolodex of like what was the name of that book and what was that whole thing about. But yeah, I read or listened to that book after I heard him on.
Yeah, I did too. Anyway, so like, what do you think, man? I mean, did it start out with 2 people, and we don't have to go that.
So we're basically now having the evolution versus divine creation.
I don't know. It's like, how did it happen? You know what I mean? Like, how did we survive with all the diseases and with all the birth complications and
I honestly
lions?
I have no idea. My thoughts on this have evolved, no pun intended, and changed so many times along the way. I was raised mildly Catholic, meaning like I was baptized and I went to I did first communion and all that stuff, went to a Catholic church. And this actually, it's funny because this will go into one of my other ones later on. But like, you're just told this is how everything happened and like, this is what you should believe. And just over time, like, but then, okay. So for example, and I'll probably sound really dumb, I guess, but so you go to like church and they tell you this is how it happened, and then you go to your history class and they tell you this is how it happened, and you're like, wait a minute, like, was it like this and this being and this creator, or did like rocks in space run into each other and then we were a cell? And yes, this is a whole other podcast that we can dive into.
Yeah.
But it's changed along the way for me to where I honestly have no idea. And I think, in my personal opinion, and this might get some hate, I think wholehearted belief in either one is a little misguided.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's potentially a blend of both.
Yeah.
Obviously some evolution has happened to a degree. What started it all, I don't know. I've gone through phases where I've been somewhat I was raised to be Catholic and somewhat religious. I've gone through I'm a complainy, miserable, whatever, teenager, early 20s person, to where I was like, God didn't exist and this is nonsense. But then also forced myself to go to church during those times to try to educate myself. I don't know 100% what I believe. There has to be something. There's something to both, but I don't know exactly what it is. It is interesting because you're just like, so we were this like thing that crawled out of the water, and now here I am talking to you. This is where we got.
And
like, it's so hard for me to even wrap my head around like the amount of time, like how long, like we're saying hundreds of thousands of years for like the evolution, we'll say, from apes or whatever, but then how long before that everything existed. And then it's like, well, this is when life started, and they're like, well, but we found this thing, and this says maybe that we were here before. Like, we told you it was this many years ago, but come to find out it's probably this many years ago. And you're like, you guys have no idea.
Yeah, and even thinking about the Oregon Trail, which wasn't that long ago, and how like they actually had technology, like not iPads and stuff, but they had wheels and buggies and
it wasn't 10,000 years ago.
Yes, and they still barely made it.
Yeah, that's pretty deep, Ben. That's like a really deep, like, how did we get here?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I have a older family member. I won't call him out, which he probably doesn't know I exist anyways. No, I'm just kidding. But he still believes that the Earth is 2,000 years old and dinosaurs never existed. And
yeah, I feel like there's a lot in there I don't fully understand either. Like because you could probably talk to someone that's really well versed in either side of that kind of conversation, and they could explain it in a way that makes sense. And you're like, oh yeah, I could kind of see that. Like I feel like my perception of is that same, right? Like well, because even this sounds dumb. The BC, right? Before Christ.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was. So that's when it all like. How does this work?
It's so weird. Yeah. Anyways.
This is going to sound like such a goofy section of the podcast, but I will say I think about this stuff often too. We go to church fairly regularly. I think it's a good place for us to go. I think it's a very positive experience. There's a lot to be learned from the teachings from a church, from the lessons from the Bible. But then you even think about like, well, there's different versions of this book, and depending on which religion you are, has their version of the book. And then there's religions that don't necessarily even believe this stuff, but they have their own book. Mm-hmm. You're like, I don't know. I do think about that too, and I'm not sure if it's something we'll ever have an answer to.
Nah, we won't. That's what keeps life fun, though, I guess.
But it's fun to argue with people about, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Especially at holiday dinners and stuff.
Yeah.
Bring that up.
Yeah, definitely.
So how do we get here? That's your number 3?
Yeah, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is actually kind of somewhat in line with that, and it's the moon landing.
Yes. You know how many people have asked me, like, when are you guys going to talk about the moon landing?
So, similar, right, to a degree of what we were just talking about. Like, you're told these things when you're young. Like, this is just how it happened. This is whatever. And you're just like, all right, cool. Like, 1969, we, like, landed on the moon. We beat the Russians. Go America. And then you, like, get older, and you're like, start to critically think about things a little bit different. You learn some other things. And so let me preface this before I get labeled the conspiracy theorist and people just shut off the podcast. I don't know. This is my personal opinion. Some of it is to be funny and to pester people that disagree with me. I think there's a really good chance we may have landed on the moon. I'm not entirely sure if we have been. I'm pretty convinced that we did not in 1969. And so I'm basing that on just, again, random bits of information I've seen. I don't know if you've ever seen any of these, but like there's this video about the astronaut that's like explaining this belt in space that we've never been able to get through, because anytime we try to get anything through it, it basically incinerates everything of importance on any kind of thing they try to send through it. I don't know if this is real or not. I just saw this video, and it's like, then they show like, this is the belt, this is the moon. And I know there's a lot of those videos out there that people are like trying to debunk it and make a joke of it. So like, I get that you're exposed to that stuff too. But then when I think of the reality of like, so we went to the moon in 1969. I've seen the picture of the stack of papers of how they coordinated this in real time with like a paper and pen and all these brilliant people. But now, all these years later, we basically haven't been able to recreate that, or we just know that there's nothing there, so it's not worth going back. And I make the joke every time I go to the Smoky Mountains, I bet there's somewhere out here that no human has ever stepped, but we're sure there's nothing on the moon. And then the other one is, I can't, on my phone, walk from this gym across the parking lot to Home Depot without losing service at some point with this supercomputer. Yeah. But in 1969, we relayed video, voice to a landline phone.
No latency.
It just, it makes me question.
Well, the moon was 250,000 miles away and 250,000 miles back, so 500,000 miles, right?
I don't even know.
Fuel for, which I know that you can just blaze on through in space, but stopping, a lot of it in like,
it's just something that when I was a kid, I didn't think twice about. And now I'm just like, okay, for one, is it beyond belief that the government would lie to us about something? No.
They would never.
Is it beyond belief that the government would lie to us about something to beat the Russians at something? And it's just, I don't know.
I mean, there's also pacts all the time between countries, and they could be fine with that.
Well, that's the other part. The argument against is like, nothing can be kept a secret. But since then, we've managed to like keep quiet that whether that happened or not. I'm like, well, they still won't release the Kennedy assassination files for some reason.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, there are some instances where we don't know the whole story.
It's also like, has everyone kept it a secret? I mean, there's been so many people come out about it. Like, it's like
I agree.
Seeing a ghost or something, and someone, they're like, oh, I've never seen evidence. It's like, what do you mean? There's all types of evidence.
Right.
Like, it's just, I know, I'm with you, man. Like, I don't know if we have or not. I'm like, but
I don't. So here's the thing. This is what I find funny, and I'm not trying to pick at anyone in particular. And I don't even know who will watch this or not. I don't have such a strong disbelief in it happening that it makes me angry.
Bitter, yeah.
What I find funny is when you're like, I'm not really sure that happened, and these are my reasons why, and people tell you that you're stupid.
Yes.
And like, I literally was told one time, it's good that people like you don't have government clearance to things. And I was just like, this is exactly why I find this funny. This is so important to you. You are so hung up on this being true that like, you need to calm down.
It's almost, is there a little self-doubt in there?
Well, right. I think that's the hard part, like, for people to understand. And I haven't always thought this way about stuff. I'll be honest, I don't want to say the last 5 years, but there was a certain section of the last 5 years that I had certain thoughts to begin with, but let's be honest, going through 2020 and 2021 made me really think about things even more differently than I already had, to where I'm just like, I'm willing to question everything.
Yeah.
Like, whether that's good or bad, the flip side of that I've heard is that if you're skeptical about everything, then like you never have to be wrong. Where if you just don't believe in anything, it's just a safer place to live. And I wonder sometimes, do I live in that world where I'm just like, if I just doubt everything, then I'm just like, can't be surprised kind of deal. But also I just don't put anything past, whether it's people or governments or groups or whatever. Like, it's just their self-interest or I'm at a loss for what the word is. Self-preservation,
Well, it's also, it might not be malicious. Maybe it's for the greater good, for how they see it, Like, maybe they're not trying to kill everyone. Maybe there's something else where they just, hey, we have to fake this because we're going to get nuked.
I don't know. I don't know what the rationale would be.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a crazy time of life. The Vietnam War, the Cold War, like riots and racial unrest and problems that were going on in this country. That's why like people tell me like it really stuck out in my mind recently with the Charlie Kirk assassination. Like I remember I was at the gym and like someone was like, they were watching the videos and they're talking about it and like, can you just believe how screwed up this world is? And I was like, you just realize that like you just have access to this information 5 minutes after it happened. I said, we weren't alive in the 60s. We were at war. We were in the Vietnam War. We were in a Cold War with Russia. The president was assassinated. His brother was assassinated. Martin Luther King was assassinated. Malcolm X was assassinated. There were like sit-ins and riots and like
Reagan shot at,
segregation. I'm saying all in the 60s.
Oh, 60s, okay.
Like think of all of the things that were taking place during the course of the 1960s all at the same time. So now fast forward and put all of those things taking place right now. Like we're in some of those things to a degree anyways. Like, right, someone shot at Reagan. Someone shot at Trump. The president of the United States was killed. So was his brother, who was also a politician. So were, like, community and racial and whatever leaders. Like, there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
You just weren't inundated with it at your fingertips 5 minutes after it happened. Like, I understand the world's like kind of a crazy place, but has it ever been calm?
They also got to realize that there are like marketing companies behind, say, like Turning Point or Act Blue. It's like they are pushing all this outrage, and they're getting donations, Right.
And I'm not trying to justify. But just have some context for like. There's been a lot of stuff like every generation. I mean, think of World War II. Like kids were going around collecting tin cans. There was millions of people. Like we recognized that on Red Friday, like a couple weeks. I can't even remember what the number was, but it was like 4 times the number of people than live in Knoxville were killed or injured in World War II from an American side. It was like 1 million were killed or injured in World War II, and it's 4 times the population of the city we live in. Like, can we put that into context of like, I understand the world's a little bit of a crazy place and whatever, but like it's kind of always been that way.
Yeah. If people could just see the beauty and how easy it is.
It's what you focus on.
Yeah.
And I've been down that unfortunate hole of like living in that world. And I'm not saying I'm out of it because I still get drawn into stuff, but like I've done the whole arguing on the internet, and I've just realized that is a complete waste of my time.
It's a waste.
And I'd rather just not focus on that stuff. I've unfollowed so many things and so many people, even people that like I agree with a lot of stuff they say, but they always say it in a certain way. I think I told you about this. Like someone like Gordon Ryan, he's a jiu-jitsu guy. Like he's the best in the world. And like I loved watching like some of his stuff, but he's a very like outspoken, I don't want to say controversial, but very strong in his belief person. But so some of that stuff just comes across as argumentative, and there's like a negativity to it at times where I'm like, this is just not an energy I need in my life. Like he's freaking awesome at what he does, but like the other stuff, like, I don't know. I've made my opinions on a lot of stuff, and it's not that I don't want my mind changed.
Yeah.
It's that I'm just not sure it's going to be in one way or the other. And I'm not sure someone like posting crazy, insane things on Instagram is the way that it's going to happen. So I'd probably better suited to just like back away.
No, that's great. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see if I'm in any happier of a person for it or not.
I mean, it's a mental diet, you know. You have to get rid of that nasty crap.
I've binged on it before. It's time to to cut that out.
Exactly.
So moon landing.
All right, moon landing.
To regroup. I'm not 100% sure it happened. I'm pretty confident it didn't happen in 1969. Not really sure if and when it ever has. I guess
we're supposed to go back, right? Something like that.
Yeah, I've heard all kinds of stuff. We're supposed to go back. I heard. I swear I heard the other day like Tom Cruise is going to the moon or something.
Tom Cruise, he's probably already been to the moon.
I don't know. We'll see.
Sorry, give me 1 second.
We'll see if another trip, and then I'll either. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll be proven to be totally wrong, and like that's okay. I don't attach like my own self-value to whether or not we landed on the moon in the 60s or not. I wasn't even alive.
I know we've definitely been to space. You can't argue that, I don't think.
No, I think the world is round, not flat.
Yes.
I think we've been really far away from it. And we may have been. Like, that's the other point. Is like, absolutely, maybe since 1969, we've possessed the technology to get there. But, like, just that, it's just crazy to me to just think. Like, I know it's like a stupid comparison because, like, how much time and energy and money went into this. But, like, look at the cars. Look at everything else.
You can only do so much with duct tape and cardboard. You know?
How did we have the technology to do that? And then the way that it's explained, and then just some of the things. Like, I don't want to just believe all the conspiracy theory people that are like, well, check this out, and this is why. But you're like, well, some of that crap doesn't make sense. So, moon landing, not so sure.
Yep.
So what's your next one?
My next one, I don't know. I've kind of had a bunch. I guess we'll do this one. Innovation, you know. I'm always thinking about how to make things better or more efficient. I remember when I was a kid, I made shoes out of duct tape and cardboard. You know, I've just always like been wanting to like make things, and always I've had ideas about patents before, and like that's just where my brain is, dude. Like I'm always like thinking about that. Have you ever thought of any crazy off the top of your heads? No.
I'm not a very creative person in that way. Like I have lots of ideas, but not for like creation of stuff. It's more like life paths or things to do. I'm not like artistic. I'm not, I'm trying to think if there's like a better way to describe it. I'm just not that. Like I'm not musical. I'm not artistic. I'm not creative. At all. So I don't really think of that kind of stuff. It's interesting because I find that stuff, like people that are. One of my daughters she's fairly musical. Like she can teach herself to play a song on the piano from hearing it. Like she doesn't need to read the music to be able to like kind of understand roughly how to play it. She's pretty artistic as well. And I'm just like, I'm so not that. Like I can't draw at all. I have no, like this sounds dumb. I really like music. I can't play it, and I don't know that I ever have the patience to learn how. Yeah. And so it's very interesting because it seems like it's like a whole other like part of the brain that like I just don't have or don't know how to access.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah, I get it from my mom. She's a woodworker.
Yeah.
She builds things and she's very creative in that sense. And my stepdad, I guess he's very smart and creative and can make anything.
Yeah.
But
That stuff is crazy to me. Like someone that can like just make something out of nothing.
yeah, he could build a radio out of cereal box.
But
it's
yeah,
insane.
or just like take pieces of wood and like just like people that can just make things. Like for one to possess the skill, like the actual physical, like I can, manually produce this thing, but then also like to take it from a thought into a thing like that. I'm blown away by that because it is just not something I possess.
Yeah, I would always try to think of ways to speed up the production process and making product, and I made like 10,000 samples one time for Birchbox in a weekend, and like just little ways where you're like speed up this, speed up that.
Yep.
But I think that's just something I always think about, like in life.
Is there something right now that you're like trying to figure out a way to innovate? Like, is there something that's in your?
Oh, I need to make a website for Save None.
Okay.
That's probably top of my list, but there's always like it's wedding season, so
right.
I'm just I don't know. Anyways,
no, I get that though. Like I feel like that's kind of who you are. There's like you have musical ability, like you're creative, you're artistic. Like I definitely understand that, and that makes sense when you're saying it that way. I'm just so not wired that way. It's interesting. Carrie and I had a conversation this week. It was we're watching this like Netflix series thing now, and talking about the difference between like memory and IQ. Like I said, like, if I took an IQ test, I don't know how well I would score. Like I don't have like this great ability for conceptual things or like figuring out puzzles necessarily, but I have a very good memory, like an above average memory, and not by any means like a photographic memory, but like I remember things. Like I'll walk by something and I'll see it, and then 2 weeks later, one of my kids will be like, "Hey, have you seen such and such thing?" And I'm like, "It's on the second cabinet from here. It's below this thing." Like I just remember random things a lot of times. Like Carrie will make fun of me because I'll know how old athletes are, when their birthdays were, or like statistics about them, like stuff that I have a real passion for, that I've paid a lot of attention to. I retain that stuff for a very long time. I actually had this conversation with one of the members the other day. I don't remember, ironically, I don't remember how we got there, but I think it was maybe explaining this conversation. When I was in high school, my junior year, I was kind of a pain in the butt student. So surprise, surprise. But we had to do a research paper, and I asked the teacher, and I said, "Has anyone ever passed your class without doing a research paper?" And she said, "No, it's weighted too heavily. It's virtually impossible. No one has ever passed my class without doing a research paper." Challenge accepted. So I screwed around all year. I didn't do the research paper. So then it came time for the final in this history class, and I got 100 on the final. Got every question right. It might have been 50 questions, whatever it was. And then you had an extra credit opportunity if you were slid a blank map of the world. And I filled it in. Every country, every capital, and everyone was spelled correctly.
Wow.
Because I spent probably the same amount of time it would have taken to do a research paper. I spent the time to learn what everything was, where it was located, and how to spell it. And I got the entire world correct, and I got 150 on the final, and I passed her class.
Good Lord.
But I don't think of myself as someone that has a very high IQ. But like we know some people. We have people here. We have one of our members. He builds nuclear reactors. Like probably crazy high IQ. And I just find that interesting. Like those differences. What's that?
Nick?
Ahmed.
Oh,
actually, he builds nuclear reactors.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, we have a lot of people that they work at the lab, or they're in that space. But like the differences in those types of things, like someone can have a really high IQ, but maybe they don't have a good memory, or like I consider myself having a pretty good memory, but maybe I don't have all that high of an IQ. Like how our brains work differently, what causes them to work that way, the nature nurture thing of like, you have those kids that are just brilliant and the parents are like average, or like the parents that are brilliant and the kid, like how does that all work? I find that stuff fascinating of like what triggers those things in development, or are you just born that way and you have no control over it, even if you tried to express it? Like I find that stuff fascinating. Like our brains obviously work a bit differently. Why? And so I find that kind of stuff I find interesting, and I think about that stuff.
We're all unique,
right?
It's cool.
It's curious what makes it that way.
It's cool how we all just kind of gel. Like when we meet people that have the opposite.
Right. What's good when those kind of people get married.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's the OCD, anal retentive person, and the very aloof, like go with the flow person. Like you need both of those people, because if you're both the same, you're going to either never remember anything, or you're going to fight all the time, or like...
Yeah, definitely.
That's how my wife and I joke about that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and I feel like there's memes about that stuff too. Like that those kind of people meet each other. So
yeah, definitely.
So innovation.
I like yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
So I guess we're on to number 5. We got my last one.
Yep.
We kind of blew the timeline, but we're not doing too bad.
Right. Yeah.
So the 5th thing that I think about a lot, and it's because of what time of year it is hunting.
Hunting. Oh.
Yep. So I'm super to the point about like the whole social media thing earlier. Like when the weather gets nice, I all of a sudden think I want to be a runner.
Okay, yeah.
Right? Like all summer, it's hot, it's humid, it's kind of gross outside. I have no interest in going running. It starts to cool off, the humidity dies down. I'm like, I should run a marathon. It gets to October, it gets a little cooler, hunting season comes around, and I'm like, you know what? I need to take up hunting. I've never hunted. I own guns, I've shot guns, I've liked them, have interest in them. I've never hunted. I'm not sure why. And every year at this time, I'm like, I should go hunt. Like, I like that idea. I like deer meat. I think it's good. I'm not opposed to hunting. I'm a meat eater. I think it's just, normal, natural, as long as you're doing it responsibly and safe and all that kind of stuff. The shooting the animal thing, like, I got it, like, whatever. Like, I'm fine with that.
Have friends that do it? I mean, they could take you?
I have, yes. And that's the other part, is I've actually almost, like, lined up, like, hey, we should go. Dustin, I've talked to him several times. He's an avid. So he is one of the main reasons I want to hunt, and then possibly the main reason I do not hunt, because this is what happens every year since I've known him, but even before this, really. I think about it. I want to do it. I'm getting all, well, yeah, we should go do it. And then hunting season comes around, and I'll use Dustin as an example. I'm watching him on social media the other day, get up at 3:30 in the morning, trekking out in the woods in the rain to sit out there for 8 hours by himself. And I'm like, do I really want to go do that?
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever saw his basically tutorial on deer hunting like a year or two ago. It was a play-by-play, Ben. It was wild.
I bet.
If he still has those videos, we need to get them from him. You need to see them. It was him shutting off his alarm at 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's
him
awesome.
Driving to wherever he goes to hunt. Him walking out in the woods. A little bit of stuff about him being out there. I don't think he got the actual shot of the deer, but literally like, look, there's the deer I just shot. Videoed. He put this all on Instagram, by the way. Field dressing a deer. Cutting it open, pulling all the crap out in the woods, like all on social media. He put up a disclaimer for those that are, weak stomach or not interested. This is about to get graphic. Shows him dragging it out of the woods. Him falling down a hill, getting toppled by the deer because it slid down the hill behind him and hit him in the legs and wiped him out. Like literally the whole thing. Him processing it at his house himself, cutting it all up, grinding it into burger. Like it was freaking crazy. But so then I'm like, do I really want to go do that?
Yeah,
or do I just, he gives me venison. He gives me meat from it when he gets it. Am I okay with just that?
Yeah, right. Yeah. What about bow hunting?
See, I wonder if I'd like that. This
seems more physical.
You get to move around a lot more, but I don't think I would really enjoy dealing with the bow because it's not a skill that I possess. And that would be something that would kind of bother me. I know I'd have to obviously practice. Like I'd be pretty comfortable shooting a rifle at an animal and being confident. I mean, I've shot enough times and whatever, decent enough at it that like I would feel okay. The bow would make me nervous because the last thing I would want to do would be potentially hit it and not take it down. Like that would terrify me. Like I don't want to hurt an animal and not.
Oh, got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I feel like I'm confident enough with a rifle that like I can hit that thing from 100 yards right where I need to and it's going to go down. The bow, you got to be closer, and I don't have the confidence. Like I feel like I'm way too far. I would have to like start from nothing and do it for a couple years before I'd feel comfortable like actually shooting at one myself, because I would not want to stick an arrow in the ass end of a deer and then it takes off in the woods.
Yeah,
like I would feel real bad about
Bambi.
that. That's not okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever hunted?
Man, dude, I can't even kill bugs. Like I'm like the guy. I'm a big bad looking dude, but I'm sitting there, come on, guy, come on, buddy. So I'll pick it up and throw it outside. I just can't, I don't know. And it's not that I think it's necessarily wrong. I know that sometimes the hunting needs to be done, you know, and hey, I eat burgers and chicken.
Yeah.
But to actually like watch the life go out of one, I just don't think I could do it, you know?
Right. See, that's the thing. Like, I say I think I'm okay with it because whatever, you dissect stuff when you're in school. Like, I've been around, like, the death of an animal is not the end of the world, especially if you're going to eat it. Like, I think, like, just killing something to kill it, like, that's unnecessary.
I like Joe Rogan's view. I think he kind of made it popular where it's like, if you're going to eat something, you should be the one that.
Yeah, like I think,
I
think that's
cool.
totally fine. Like if you're doing it for food and that's gonna feed yourself, your family, whatever. Like I honestly do not think I would have a problem actually like taking the shot, kill. But then I'm like, do I want to 5 miles out in the woods be gutting this thing, dragging it out, and I'm like, oh man,
it'd be a cool experience one time, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I literally talked to Dustin about this a couple weeks ago. And then I like watched them yesterday, and I'm like, dude, it is like 47 degrees and raining.
Well, because you can't even make a noise out there, right? I mean, it's not like you can listen to music.
Sit out there and be quiet.
Yeah, see, like
scare them away.
I love fishing and stuff like that, but it's like the going out in the boat and sitting there for 8 hours. Like I'm like, dude, I can't do it. I don't know.
Yeah. So hunting is my fifth one.
This
time of year, because it's hunting season. So every year I'm like, I should go do this, and then it'll get wintertime and hunting season will be over, and then I'll move on to thinking about something else.
Well, do you think you are going to make the commitment to do it one day?
I honestly don't know.
You don't know?
I honestly don't know. I feel like I should have by now. I mean,
yeah.
I don't. It's one of those things like running the marathon or doing something else that I'm like, oh, that'd be a cool idea. I should go do that. Until I'm actually willing to like make you just have to go do it. Mm-hmm. Like,
do a lot of hunters go together, or do they do it like alone?
I think some do. Yeah, I mean, I guess depends on what you're hunting, where you're hunting. I mean, I know people go out hunting together. I mean, that's what we've talked about. Is I'm like, dude, I'll just come with you and hang out. Because earlier in the season, it's like bow season is how it starts, and there's different seasons to what you're allowed to hunt with. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I'll just come with you and just hang out. Like, well, I'll go with you during bow season, and I'm just gonna hang out there with you. And then if you get something, I'll help you take care of it and drag it out of the woods. Like, just to have the experience and be like, okay, is this something I actually want to go do on my own? Mm-hmm. But I'm still yet to do that because I always have an excuse to why I have like these other things I need to do. Like right now, I'm moving.
Well, if you ever decide to go, maybe I'll bring my video stuff and we can just make a little short documentary, and maybe not 8 hours. Maybe we'll sit out there for 4 and
I think that
get a squirrel.
If it was anything like what Dustin put on Instagram before, I think it would be gold, pure gold. Those videos need to. I don't know what he would do with them, but
yeah, he's a very good video guy. He needs
just the fact of he just videoed freaking everything.
Everything, I know.
Like, so he's walking down this big grassy hill or like leaf covered hill, and all of a sudden the phone starts to shake and his eyes get real big and everything starts moving really fast, and it's literally because he was dragging the deer out down the hill and it picked up speed and wiped him out.
That's wild.
And it was hilarious to watch.
I never remember to pull my phone out and like video something, you know?
Yeah.
Like when I'm doing different things. And
right. Well, he was doing that whole thing was on purpose, so it was very funny to.
That's so cool.
It was a good group of videos. So what's Ben's number 5?
Number 5, movies.
Yeah.
I'm a movie guy, man. I love movies.
Okay.
I can remember in high school, you know, a lot of kids are out hanging out, and I would rent a movie from Blockbuster and go to my mom's basement and just watch movies, you know?
Yeah. What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's just a very artsy indie film.
I've heard of it.
Jim Carrey. It was like 2003, maybe 2004. Okay. I don't know. That movie's great. But I like scary thriller. I like drama. I'm not really a romantic sort of guy. I like comedies. You know, are you a movie guy at all?
Not really.
No.
I mean, we used to watch movies a lot, but I feel like as we got older and like had kids and stuff, like we went through a phase where I feel like we watched very few things that were like intentional for Carrie and I to watch. And we kind of got into it a couple years ago, like doing like Netflix series and stuff. Mm. I think I struggle with the attention span of sitting for that long. Like I can't remember. It's been a few years. I think we went to the movies to watch a movie with like JJ's Little League team. It was like the end of the year. I mean, that was probably 4 or 5 years ago now that we went and did that. 4 years ago. Excuse me. That was probably the last time. I mean, the kids will watch movies and they'll be on, and I'm not saying I won't sit and like kind of pay attention, but I'm not a big movie person. Like I don't even know like what movies are out right now or what's a popular movie or what has been. Like I've never seen any of the like, you know, the past 5 to 10 years, any of like the big movies. No clue.
Really?
Yeah.
You think that's also a feed thing, you know? Like it's just not on your feed. Like I have movie premieres. And,
yeah, probably.
you know,
I'm not exposed to like that stuff coming out.
Because it's not like we watch MTV all day anymore, you know,
Right.
or we don't watch,
Yeah.
you know, cable television. It's hard to kind of find out about the new movies.
Yeah,
and
I
stuff.
don't see a lot of advertisements for movies and stuff. And then it's just, yeah. I mean, it's not like I'm not up for watching like what I would consider a good movie. I do like the whole series thing because you can watch something in like 45 minutes. That's like kind of feels like a movie, or you know, maybe it's an hour long or something like that.
Oliver's really big into movies, so my son, and you know his name, but just for anyone, he sends me trailers all the time, and that's kind of our thing. We'll Friday nights we'll go see a movie and
that's cool.
Grab some dinner. So maybe that's also why movies have been on my mind. You know, it's just like bonding for us. But yeah, movies have changed, man. There's some really good ones out there that just like make you think. And there's one you should check out called Eddington.
Okay.
It's like a A24 is like this new production company, but it's kind of about 2020 and COVID and just like how everyone kind of started losing their minds. And it's a 3-hour movie, dude, but the whole movie just keeps you engaged. That's probably the last movie that I really enjoyed.
Really? I can't even think of the last movie that I watched that I sat down from start to finish and watched the whole movie. I literally can't think of anything. Like my kids have watched some stuff, like they'll see when new movies come out, but they're usually like, you know, more kid friendly, like kid appropriate kind of stuff. I cannot think of the last movie that I sat and watched the entire thing.
Have you ever watched those shows? It's like the comedies where it's little skits, like 2-minute, 3-minute skits, and it's like
no, I don't think so.
Gotcha.
I mean, JJ watches those, like Bluey. They have like these little brief episode things, and they're all strung together.
There's a show, I Think You Should Leave. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
And it's like 2-3 little kind of minute skits of just really dumb, funny. It's like Tom Green sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I might like that.
Yeah, you might like it. Yeah,
I've never watched.
Attention span may be a little better, but yeah, that's
I swear, like I just I don't know if it's because I've gotten older or I'm just victim to like how things are now. Like I don't sit still and watch a lot of anything. Like I'll listen or I'll watch stuff in passing. Carrie and I usually try if we can, if one of us is not getting up crazy early or it's not too late, like we'll try to sit down. Like we got into different series. Like we watched The Blacklist for like 6 months because it was like forever long.
Yeah.
Just, you know, stuff we'll find on Netflix for, you know, so we'll sit for 45 minutes or something. That's a lot of times what those are. And we'll do that a couple nights a week. That's about the extent. That's the extent of my intentional, like, watching a TV, other than maybe like having football on a Sunday while we're doing something else. But even still, I don't even sit and watch like whole UT games or professional football games or anything anymore. Well, like,
God forbid this ever happens. I'm going to knock on wood. You broke your back tomorrow and you have 6 months recovery. Like, how are you going to pass that time?
Gosh, I mean, I'm sure I'd figure out some stuff to watch.
Do you read or...
I know you
podcast.
I'd probably do podcasts and Audible. Like I was big into books. I haven't really.
So you don't really need the visual.
No,
yeah.
No. Like it's like I watch stuff on YouTube, but it's more listening. You know, like when I'm cooking dinner or I'm doing something else. Like I'm not watching the people. It's just the medium that I'm, you know, getting it through. I feel like a lot of times too, when like new podcasts and stuff come out, people get them on YouTube faster than they get them on like Spotify and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll see them, you know, if it's a certain podcast that I already listened to. So like, yeah, I'll just throw that thing on, you know, for 2 hours and I'll listen to bits and pieces of it, but I'm not watching it because of it's a video. It's more the sound.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm a big like something on in the background while doing other things kind of person. Like if I'm mowing the lawn, or I'm doing something that I don't need to hyper focus on, I'll have something that I'm listening to that I can kind of pull stuff from periodically, but I don't, you know, not anything I'm really trying to learn anything from.
But it can't be white noise.
No, that doesn't work.
That's crazy. I need white noise. Like I need a pad, a little level of like some sort of like that air going. Like if it was silent here, dude, I would lose my. There's actually a
no.
room.
Like I need more than that, is what I'm saying. Like it's a headphone in with a Rogan podcast or whatever the podcast is, and I'm falling asleep with that headphone in. And when I roll over, it pulls itself out of my ear, and I'm fine. But I wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. I go back and start it back up to fall back to sleep.
Have you heard of that? I saw it on I don't even know if this is true. I think it is. But there's this room where they'll pay you like $1,000 if you can sit in it for an hour. But it's like the most soundproof room. And they say when you're sitting in there, it's so quiet that like you start hearing the insides of your body and like you just...
Isn't that like a sensory deprivation tank or those
something like that, yeah.
tank kind of deal things too? Yeah, people like go crazy in that.
That is, yeah. I would want to try it for 30
I don't think
seconds.
I would like that.
No, yeah.
That doesn't sound like it's for me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, very cool, Ben. That took longer than we thought, but that's kind of seems to be the MO for how we do this. But
hour and 40 minutes. That's all right.
Yep. But we got some good insight into some stuff. We maybe have some content for future podcasts. Maybe we can have some people that maybe we can find someone that has some paranormal interest or experience, or maybe some moon landing stuff, or
we should have a debate.
We can. I'm all for. I'm all for that. Having a heated yet
friendly,
mature, respectful.
Cool,
dialogue.
man. Yeah. Well, thank you for the idea, and that was fun.
Yeah. Thank you, buddy. I always appreciate all the work you put into this stuff.
See you tomorrow morning.
Yes, sir.